True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But will you say that I am mad? I heard all things in heaven and in earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how the first idea entered my brain, but once conceived it haunted me day and night. Object there was none, passion there was none. I loved the old man, he had never wronged me. He had never given me insult for his gold. I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was his eye. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. You ready? Um, try try turning to the right. Maybe to the left. That eye. Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man during the whole week before I killed him. And every night about midnight I turned the latch of the door and opened it, oh so gently. And then when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in the lantern, all closed, closed that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you should have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly, so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening, so far that I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Ha! Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then when my head was well in the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously. Cautiously, I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight, but I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And then, every morning when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he has passed the night. So you see he would have been a very profound old man, indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I would scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door, little by little, and he not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed sudden as if startled.
Who's there? Was it simply a mouse? Maybe the wind. It was nothing.
But even yet I refrained and I kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eve. Meanwhile, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and louder every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say louder every moment. Do you mark me? Well, I have told you that I am nervous, so am I. And now, at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of the old house, so strange a noise as is excited to me uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder and louder. I thought the heart must burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hours had come. With a loud yell, and leaped into the room.
Die! I die!
He shrieked. Once only.
The evil eye is no more!
Instead, I dragged him to the floor. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. If you still think me mad, you think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. That night waned and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs. I then took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been too worried for that. A tub had caught all.
Someone called in for a disturbance, so we came and checked around the premises.
Can I see a paperwork?
Yeah, we have a paperwork right here.
Alrighty, you guys can come in. Come on, guys. Welcome. Sit. Would you guys like some tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. But ere long, I felt myself getting pale, and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat, and they still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued, and it became more distinct. But it continued and gained clarity until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt, I now grew very pale. But I talked more fluently and with a heightened voice, yet the sound increased. And what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound. What could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore.
Valence, I did it! I did it! It's under here! It's the beating of his ugly heart!
We're under arrest.
And I like pull myself.
Action. She's giggling. You're angry.
I'm not getting any blood.
Water yourself up. Put some on your face.
You're not as close to it as I am.
So now it looks like you just peeled his face off.
Yeah.
She couldn't stand it, so she peeled off his face.
Olivia.
So are you going to have a policeman coming to the crime scene? Yeah,
You want my tweet?
Gross.
Cut!
All right.
Move over there.
Action. Blah 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 blah.
Ask me something.
Wait, hold on, miss.
Blah 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 blah.
Okay, I'm gonna stand back over here where you guys can't see me.
Blah 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 blah. Okay.
They can't hear what we're saying, right? Because you're gonna edit the sound out, right? You're gonna
All
take
right.
the sound out?
Someone has shoved your baby.
I did it! I did it! I admit it! He's under here! Under the floor! I admit it. It's the beating of his ugly heart.
Villains! Okay, I did it! I did it! There he lies under the floor! Okay.
Stop it. Go, go.